pew, 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 pew.
Reload!
Afternoon, everybody. This is Anthony from Airsoft, and I have my battle buddy,
I'm
Robby. And today we're going to be doing an honest review of the Krytac CRB. We have been wanting to do this review for a while, but when we got them in, we sold them all. So we had to get some more. And so we waited to do the video until we got some more in, so we could actually have some in for you guys to look at.
Yes.
I'm going to go through the back, from the front to the back, external features, and then what we're also in with this video as well is we do have some internal review as well, because we did take one of these apart down to the components just to see what it was like. Starting from the front, you have a unique flash hider, you have your included front solid fixed sight, and you have a Keymod rail. Super nice. Super nice, removes with 2 screws on the bottom, comes apart. Receivers are metal. Rear sight is metal. It's actually machined very well, and it clicks into place much like a real steel sight. It's very good. The increments are pretty much correct. On the lower receiver, you have an ambidextrous fire selector. It's on both sides. Shorty on this side for a right-handed shooter, so it doesn't mess with their finger. You also have a locking bolt with a working bolt release, so you can access your hop-up. You have an A2 sized pistol grip, which is nice. It's a little more realistic. It's thinner. It's not fat like most AEG pistol grips. You have a numbered stock tube, and you have this super sweet stock. Now, it's pretty unique. I like it. It's got these 2 flanges right here that make it easy to remove. That's also the button that makes it move in and out. The stock tube itself is engraved, so you can memorize your numbers. It has 2 QD swing swivels right here, as well as a flat sling wraparound right here for an old school 3-point sling. And then on the back is how you get to your battery. It is very big inside. It'll fit all kinds of nunchuck batteries, stick batteries, and it has an auto fuse.
I guess I can talk about some tech stuff a little bit.
Go for it, dude.
Yes. Get some talking time. So some things I noticed about this gun after playing with it for the past couple of days. Small things, but I mean they do hit in the heart a little bit. The motor grip is actually a heatsink motor grip, so it has some ventilation going on, which is good. Helps the motor cool down after shooting a lot. You wouldn't think those little vents would be very effective, but they actually do help quite a lot. As we go into the gun has both a fuse and a MOSFET. They work in tandem to save your gun. The nice thing about the MOSFET is that although it is not as fancy as some of the aftermarket MOSFETs, such as the BTC Chimera or any other aftermarket MOSFETs that you would normally put in an AEG, the cool thing about it is that it will save your trigger contacts. So if you run like a higher voltage battery, what that'll do, that'll prevent arcing on the trigger contacts, and ultimately that will save the trigger contacts from frying over time. So it ultimately has a durability aspect as well as performance aspects by increasing your flow rate through the electronic system. As far as the gears go, it has a self-shimming gear set just like the VFC. So the gears are actually the sector and the spur are actually self-shimming. So, but something we've noticed is that the spur, the spring on top of the spur, that is the self-shimming spring. It's a lot stiffer than it is on the VFC, so it does a little bit of a better job of keeping that in place. And this thing's very, very snappy. Usually guns from the factory don't sound this clean. But it sounds very, very snappy and very, 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 very well built out of the factory, which is not something that you see ever. So
never, ever.
As we go
nice.
up, very nice parts you normally see aftermarket, such as a ball bearing spring guide. All the compression components are really nice. Pistons
quick
very
change
nice.
spring.
Yeah, quick change spring. So just like other quick change spring gearboxes, if you take the gearbox or if you take the stock off and get the gearbox out of the low receiver, you can just pop the back. You can pop the spring guide out and swap springs on the go.
Super good.
Which is really cool.
The fire selector and the faux bolt are attached to the actual physical gearbox themselves, which is kind of different. It's very unique. So if you were to take this gearbox and somehow get it into another body, you could definitely keep all of that stuff. That's pretty cool. That's all going to be in the takedown video. The hop-up has a rotary-style hop-up, much like the Pro-Win or the VFC-style rotary hop-ups.
Yes, sir.
It is numbered, so you can memorize where it is, and it clicks into place with a very positive click, so you know when you're adjusting it, click, 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 you can feel it. It has a tooth-style bucking in it with a standard nub. Everything in this gun is Tokyo Marui compatible for aftermarket parts, so like if you want to put a Pro-Win in here, if you want to put a barrel, new gears, spring, all that stuff, it's V2 compatible across the board. Awesome. The gearbox shell is a heat-hardened metal. It's very, very nice. It's very shiny. I am pro this gun a lot. I'm not usually an AEG guy, but I am pro this gun. Some downsides to the gun. Personally, I'm not a fan of the tooth buckings because I've had them in KWAs and I just did.
One thing
I do not like them.
Now, in defense of that, this thing actually hops. Currently, it's shooting 360. You can get a lot more hop out of it than other guns with the tooth buckings, such as the KWA, because that was always a bit of an issue people ran into with those, where you max out the hop and you'd only be able to hop in 2.5s. This has corrected that. You can hop in heavy BBs.
You can hop heavy BBs. This is like a 180-foot gun, easy stock.
Out of the box.
Out of the box. It's very great, and especially shooting at 360 FPS, which is where we've chronoed most of these. Like that's you don't find that very often.
No. So.
But I'm not a fan of the tooth bucking. It does not come with an extra flash hider, which kind of makes me sad. Though this one's really cool looking.
It is cool.
It's super cool. I guess you're just gonna have to take it off and spray paint it.
Yep.
And then it comes with this really sweet Keymod rail, but it comes with no rail segments to add onto the Keymod. So you're gonna have to.
That's where they bite you.
You're gonna have to go find your own Keymod segments. You can find repro ones, or you can buy real ones. Either ones will fit.
Yes. Also, I do believe
these are machine to mil spec.
Okay.
So these will fit mil spec Keymods as well.
And actually, something I have tried on the Keymod rails that does work currently. I'm not sure if they're going to change the design of the Keymod.
Very important.
The Magpul polymer rail segments, the sections on the inside drop right into the Keymod segments, and they fit really well. As far as real guns go, I wouldn't recommend it because if you're running a sight or something, they tend to tilt a little bit. But for like a flashlight or something, they bite really well. They're not going to move once you crank it down. And as I said, the Magpul polymer rail segments do fit really, really well on these. I have some on mine, so.
So on a scale of 1 to operator, what would you give the Krytac CRB?
Oh man, I didn't see that one coming. It's a rough one.
It's
a rough question.
What kind of operator? Were you taking what are you thinking?
Man, I don't know.
Are you thinking National Guard?
I'd say level 10. I'd say level 10 BB Wars hero.
Level 10 BB Wars heroes.
Yes.
I personally love this thing. I'm thinking of purchasing one just to see. The thing is I'm not usually an AEG guy, but I need an AEG backup, and I don't currently have one.
It says Defiance on it. That's pretty edgy.
Well, that's actually the type of rail it is, man.
It's like that's the edge though.
That razor.
Ooh, it stings.
It stings. I really like this. I am all for this, especially since it's completely TM compatible.
Yeah. What's really scary is they're probably going to improve this somehow soon. So
there's a lot of little features in the gearbox shell that are very innovative, like wire channeling, the MOSFET that's built in.
It's all very smart.
It's almost like for the last 20 some years, no one just thought to do some common sense stuff, and they just were like, "Here, let's just put it in." So I'm pro this. I would rate this very high. This is easily a 9 in my book. I like this,
especially at the price.
Especially at the price.
You cannot beat the price.
This rifle right here retails around $3.25, so right around $325. That is a steal for what you get. We're going to be getting more models in. There's an SR47. There's longer and shorter barrel variants of this gun. There's also some Shrikes coming in, which retail around $500, which is also unheard of. Uses the same gearbox and lower, so you can swap uppers and do all kinds of cool stuff with them. The gearbox shell, since it has all of the mechanics built into it, would be a good build for, say, like an SMP or something like that, because you'd get to keep your ambi and your bolt release and all that. So, overall, this is just a sweet package. It's super cool.
Absolutely.
So, all right, yeah, I like it. You like it?
I love it.
I'd operate with it.
We'll see what happens with it.
Yeah, I hope it gets better. If it gets better, that's going to be nuts balls.
Can't get much better, but I'm really excited to see what they do down the road, because it's they've been doing a really good job with the rifle so far. So
I'm pro this. All right, so this has been Anthony.
I'm Robby.
Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. I don't know. I think I've got them all.
Yep. So, we do have a new guy that's going to be doing videos. Matt, get in here. Get in the frame. Get in here, Matt.
Matt is now officially a part. He was originally new Robby, but now he's a part of the deal.
Now that I'm going to college, Matt is going to be pretty much my replacement on the video stuff. So I'll still be in here from time to time, but Matt, you're going to be seeing Matt a lot more. So
someone's got to take over for young Robby's
skills. Figured I'd show
young Rob.
I'd show him in a little bit.
All right.
That's actually a photographer. So he's more qualified than I am, anyway. So whatever. But yeah.
All right. So Anthony,
I'm Robby.
Have a good evening, guys.